So what you want to notice about both these functions, they both have a vertical asymptote at x equals 3, and that's just luck of the draw out of my open math. But what you do want to notice is you see how on this function at x equals 3, from either side of 3, the graph is headed up in the same direction, up towards positive infinity. And the same thing is happening here. So if you think way back to chapter 1, I think it was section 1 or 2 even, we learned about the parent functions. And this is acting like a reciprocal, this is like acting like the 1 over the reciprocal squared function. Because when you square it, it always heads up the same direction. And this other vertical asymptote, it's acting like 1 over x. Same thing here. So when you come up with the vertical asymptotes, see like this person and this one correctly here, let me erase some stuff here, correctly had the signs for the vertical asymptotes, right? But what was neglected at x equals 3, it has to be squared, not cubed. What are you doing? It has to be squared. Same thing here. This would be uh, x plus 3, but that's the first power because that acts like 1 over x. But at x equals 3, we have to square it. Okay, so this one here, this would be written as 1 over x plus 2 and x minus 3 squared. And then, actually, let's get rid of the 1. Let's finish off this 1 on the left. In this case, I see it crosses the x-axis once, and it doesn't look like it does anything fancy. It doesn't look like it's a higher degree. So I'm going to just write x minus 1. With this one, do you see how it bounces at x equals 1? So that will be x minus 1 squared, because it's a multiplicity 2. And then for this one, they tell us they tell us that the y-intercept is negative 2. So we'll say negative 2, and so remember that's the point 0, negative 2. So when x equals 0, y equals negative 2. So I don't know a, and this will be 0 minus 1 over 0 plus 2. And of course, you don't have to write in 0 if you know how this is going to work. So that's going to give me negative 2 here. Let me move that up a little bit. So that's going to give me negative 2 equals, let's see, it's negative 1a over, let's see, that becomes 9 times 2 is 18. So to solve this, I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal of negative, multiply by the reciprocal of negative 1/18. Or I'm going to multiply both sides by negative 18. So that's going to give me that a value of being 36. So that's what should be here is 36. Now this one, so yeah, let me finish this writing this off. So this is going to be 36 times x minus 1 over x plus 2 times x minus 3 squared. And that, my math would have liked that. So then, for this other one, let's see. Not a very nice looking y-intercept, but fortunately they tell us that the y-intercept is 0 and 3/10. So I like fractions. I'm going to do this with fractions. You could certainly do this with decimals, but so that same thing, so I'm going to write 3 over 10 equals some number a times 0 minus 1 squared over 0 plus 3 times 0 minus 3 squared. So that's going to give me 3 over 10 equals, let's see, negative 1 times negative 1 is 1. So just a over, let's see, so 3 times 9 is 27. So I'm going to multiply both sides of this equation by 27. So I think that gives me 81 over 10. And could I clean that up? I don't know. I'm just going to write 81 over 10. So that should be what my open math is looking for that one. Okay? So pay attention whether the vertical asymptotes are acting like 1 over x squared or 1 over x. And this one's been reflected. I'm wondering if I didn't make a sign mistake here. Let's check it out. Because usually, no, I didn't make a sign mistake. That's acting like 1 over x. If it had been going the other way, then it would have, this a term would have had been negative because that shows a reflection or on the x-axis. Okay,